Hi everybody, and this morning the exiled yellow belly is coming to you from West Wycombe Caves, better known as the home of the infamous Hellfire Club. Now, the reason I'm here this morning is that tonight my daughter Nikita and myself are attending a 6-hour ghost hunt here from 8 PM till 2 AM down these caves. And I'm not sure how much we will be able to record, even though I shall try. So I thought I'd come up here this morning, show you around the place, and tell you about some of its history and spirits we may encounter tonight. So let's go and pay our money and go down the Hellfire Caves. So anyway, here we are. We're parked up and approaching the caves. It's an absolutely gorgeous day for it. They're not open till 11. Luckily, it said they weren't open till April, but they do open on Fridays and the weekend now, before April. So I'm just going to go over and show you as we approach the entrance to the Hellfire Caves. So here we are, approaching the gates to go into the Hellfire Caves. There's a very big, ornate Gothic structure on the outside. It's pretty impressive. As you can see, they don't open until 11 o'clock, but there's a cafe over there, so I shall be making some use of that straight away. And then I'll be going into the caves, and I will tell you the history of the caves once we get in. Well, the gates are now open, and I have my 2 tokens. And as you walk in, there's a nice cafe on the left here, and some nice umbrellas and everything. And here we are, inside the famous Hellfire Caves at West Wycombe. Right, we're going in. So here we are in Wycombe Caves. I'm just going to put my token in. And we're away. So, let me give you a little bit of background on this place. The caves were excavated in the 1750s by Sir Francis Dashwood, who, after a series of harvest failures, employed the locals to mine the caves for chalk to rebuild the West Wycombe to High Wycombe Road. When the road was finished, he was left with these man-made caves and tunnels, absolutely ideal for himself and his buddies.
Chalk for the road was dug out in the caves. About 100 men were employed at a shilling a day. Several years later,
they conducted their drunken orgies. If you were particularly high up in the club, you could row across the river Styx at the bottom of the caves to the inner temple, where only the really bad boys were allowed to go. The club had many names, only being labelled the Hellfire Club a few years later, and nobody knows what really went on down here, because what happened in the caves stayed in the caves. The first rule of Hellfire Club. Paul Whitehead, the famous satirist, was the steward of the club. He kept a record of all the club's activities. When he knew he was dying, he spent the last 3 days of his life destroying all the records. When he died, he was buried in Teddington. Everything apart from his heart, which he kindly left to Sir Francis, who had a 3-day funeral for his friend, then popped his heart into a nice urn and deposited it into the Dashwood family mausoleum above these caves. The heart became a bit of a tourist attraction. People came from far and wide to see the urn, but unfortunately, one day in the 1800s, the heart was stolen. They think it was stolen by an Australian serviceman, but nobody knows because it's never been found. This exhibition is supposed to depict the meeting by Sir Francis Dashwood and the American Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin was very impressed with Sir Francis and really loved the caves, and especially the golden ball on top of the church.
What a capital notion. I have heard of heliographic lighting in the tunnels of the pyramids, but not of overland signaling. You certainly have some novel idea.
Oh, that was a bit loud in there, but that was the banqueting hall. We are now making our way down now to what was known as the Inner Temple. Now down here is where all the bad stuff happened apparently, and you can only get involved in that if you were one of the big boys. So we'll go down there, and it gets colder as you go down. So very dark in this bit. I remember coming here years ago for a Halloween do, and people jumped out of these little alcoves. So here we are. As you can see, it's getting darker and colder. Tonight on the Ghost Walk, I think this is going to be pretty damn spooky. It's a long way down. I think it's a quarter of a mile.
The men use picks and crowbars for dislodging the chalk, which is extremely hard. An architect or mason was in charge of the work. The chalk blocks.
So we are making our way down now to the River Styx and the Inner Temple. Now, this is the River Styx, named after the infamous river. It's a lot smaller than it used to be. Once upon a time, you would have to row over this river. Now you can see all the stalagmites and stalactites. Now they would row over this river to the Inner Temple, thinking that they were going over, oh, who pays the ferryman and all that sort of stuff. Now directly above the Inner Temple, a quarter of a mile up, is the church. And on top of the church is a golden ball. So this was classed as hell, and the golden ball that used to seat 6 people was classed as heaven. Now, one thing I'm really happy about, because I've been down here many, many times, the Inner Temple was never open to the public. So that is pretty amazing. We can actually go in there. Wow. This used to be locked at all times, and there used to be waxworks in it, but now it's been open to the public, which I'm really, really pleased about. Now this will be well spooky at night, because this is where it all happened. I mean,
no one knows what strange lies may come there.
I mean, look at all this graffiti and these skeletons and all these skulls in the wall. Look at that.
Sir Francis was an active politician for 36 years.
And that is
in 1762, and then
pretty scary stuff. But there's loads of them, and there's graffiti all over these from God knows how long ago.
Introduced at West Wycombe a new prayer for the Church of England. Its purpose was to prevent the old and faithful from freezing to death from modern sermons in cold churches. To make the service so short as to attract the young and lively.
Now this is a first for me, because I have never been in here. So that is pretty amazing that this is going to be open. Now presumably, I would think that we're going to be down here tonight, in here, looking around the Inner Temple, which, as far as I know, well, I've never known it to be open. So this is pretty amazing. So, there we are. The Inner Temple open. Well, what do you think? Sat in the Inner Temple at Wycombe Caves. In all the years I've lived here and all the times I've been down here, the Inner Temple has never been open to the public. So knowing that I'm coming on a ghost hunt tonight with my daughter, knowing that we're probably going to be in here where nearly everything happened, is pretty exciting. Now, I don't know how much I'll be able to record tonight, but you know, it's going to be, I will record as much as I can. I've been told you can record. So, but I thought I'd give you a preview of the caves during the day. Come in and pay the money, and then tonight you'll know, if you can't actually pick up whatever I'm doing, exactly where I am. So for the moment, I'm now going to walk back up a quarter of a mile through the tunnels uphill. So I'll see you later. Now this bit looks a bit spooky. Look at this. I suppose it'll be even spookier tonight. But yeah, look at this. Very spooky as it comes down here. This is the cave of Paul Whitehead, the steward of the club. Here we go, near the top again. This once again is the steward's cave where he took the monies, etc. And then if we turn this way, you can see the exit ahead. There we go. We make our way out. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ding the little bell just to tell you about new notifications of new episodes that are coming. That's that for today. Later on, I will be doing the ghost walk, so the ghost hunt. So hopefully I will get some more recording to put on the end of this. But thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.